Okay, this video is recorded to help my student to understand one kind of for loop, which is like a count loop. You know how many times exactly you want to execute your statement. So in this case, we use for loop to do the job. For example, you write a, I should say write a program. I just say write a for loop statement that calculate the sum of all even numbers between 1 and n. Okay? Now, you have many different ways to do this. One way is you know for the even number from 1 to n, it actually is the even number from 2 to n, right? Because 1 you definitely is not even, so you don't need to start from 1. So you can do this way. For example, you can do this way. You can say you first initialize sum equals 0. So because at the beginning sum is 0 because it has nothing add onto it yet, right? Now then you will use for loop for integer I equal to I less than or equal to n. Now this time is not I plus plus because next even number is 4, which is I plus 2. So this time you need to increase I by 2. So you do the increment, which is increased by 2. Each time you add this I to the sum. Okay? So each time you add this I to the sum. But since we did not have n yet, so I didn't declare initialize n. Of course, you can ask a user into the n. Now, I write those actual code is just for this example purpose. In the exam, if I ask you to do this, write a loop statement, I will say assume the n has been declared and initialized. So in this case, you only really needed to do this. You need to declare the sum because I assume n is initialized and declared. Okay, so you sum equals 0. Then you start from integer I equal to I less than equal to n. I always increase by 1. Then each time you add this I to the sum. Now then, so actually only this part is the part you need to do in the exam if I have such a question, right? Then you will say print out n. So say out print out the sum. The sum is I do this is just because I want to test my code if it's correct. Okay? Now let us test if this code is correct. So I will run the program. Into n. Now of course I could start from n equal 2, right? Oh, I don't know what happened to my computer. Started something wrong here. Be patient, hopefully. Okay. Let me into n. I start from special case n equal 2. So which means 2 add up to 2. How much? Which is result is still 2. The sum is 2, so it's correct. So I try another case. N equal 5. If n equal 5, all the even number from 1 to 5 is 2 and 4. So the sum is supposed to be 6. Sum is 6. So I also did it right. So I can guess my answer, my sense is correct, right? Now I can be sure. I mean, because the logic is also correct, and I tested with some data. Of course, in the real case, you need to test more data. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to do more about this example is notice that because I know all the even number is from 2 to n, and I start with 2, each time increase by 2. Even your n is 5, notice this less than or equal to 5. The 5 will not be in the sum because 5 is 3 more than 2. Every time you increase by 2, 5 will not be touched. Okay. Also, but you can have different way to do this problem. One way to do this is I can use for loop do this way. I say integer I equal 1, I less than equal to n, I plus plus. Now, that means I go over all the numbers from 1 to n, but every time I only add an even number to it. So when the number is even, if it divided by 2, remainder is 0. So I say if I percent 2 equals 0, that means this time is even. Then I add this I to the sum. You also can use I equals sum plus I. I also use different way to say add I to the sum. Before I use sum plus equal I, right? You also can say sum equals sum plus I. Now, this is supposed to produce the same result. Notice this time I go through every I from 1 to n, but I only add this I to the sum if this I is even. How do we know it's even? If it mod 2 equals 0. Okay? Now notice you must use double equal. Many students make a mistake, they use single equal. That's not correct. Okay? Now let us run this, test this program. For example, I still use I equal 9, okay, n equal 9. 9, which means you add up all the even number, which is 2, 4, 6, 8. The result is supposed to be 20, right? So we got 20, so we did it correct. Okay? This is used for loop. Now, we also know every for loop can be write as while loop. Okay? So notice in the for loop, this part called initialization. This part is condition. This part is increment. You can always change it to a while loop. When you change it to while loop, your initialization is outside the while loop. Then the condition is the while loop condition. Then your loop body is the for loop body. Now, the difference, you must say the increment also is the last statement of your while loop body. So you say you have initialization for the for loop, which is integer I equal 1. Then you have condition of the for loop, which is the while loop's condition. Then you have for loop's body, which is while loop's body. But you add a for loop's increment as the last statement of your while loop's body. So now that's why we said every for loop can be converted to a while loop. Okay? So now let us do this test our code. If I use while loop do, we'll do the same thing. Now n equal 9, the result is supposed to be 20. So we got it correct. Okay? Okay. Now let me finish it here, and if you have any questions, please give me an email.